Started? No.
This is Abel Camarena, the chair. We're just about to start.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
This is Abel Camarena, chair of the Valencia Soil and Water Conservation District Board of Supervisors, and I'd like to call this special meeting to order. I'm showing it's right at 3 o'clock or 3:01. Thanks for coming to the meeting. We do have a couple of members from the public, and I've established that we do have a quorum. I would let the board know that James Fisher has called in sick, and so he will not be with us, and I think we're still awaiting to see if Supervisor Abeta will connect virtually. That may be her right there. At any rate, we'll welcome her when she logs on. With that,
Can you hear me okay?
oh, there you are. Yes, this is the chair, Abel Camarena. Yes, we can hear you, Supervisor Abeta. Thanks for joining us. So we now have 6 of the 7 board supervisors participating in this special meeting. Supervisor Bonine, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you for that. We will now proceed to review the agenda for any changes. Are there any that need to be acknowledged at this time? Supervisor Smith-Desharif, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I checked with our business manager, and she said we don't have to review anything in 4A because the program where our conservation program manager is getting training is covering the expenses.
Okay, thank you for that. Are there any other adjustments at this time? Okay, given that, I would call for a motion on the agenda with the amended change. Can I get a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Supervisor Bonin, you have the floor.
I move we adopt the agenda as modified.
Is there a second to the motion?
Cordova, second.
It has been moved and seconded that we approve the agenda as modified for the special board meeting of April 9th, 2024. All those in favor signify by the uplifted hand. Supervisor Abeta?
Yay.
Thank you. So, all right, so the motion carries unanimously. We will proceed with the agenda as modified. Next order of business is approval of the March 21st, 2024 regular board meeting minutes. Those were provided to you, and hopefully you had an opportunity to comment on those. And as such, without any further ado, I would call for a motion to approve these meeting minutes.
Chairman.
Supervisor Bonin, you have the floor.
This is Supervisor Bonine. I move that we approve the minutes from the March 21st, 2024 regular meeting.
Is there a second to the motion on the floor?
Cordova, second.
Thank you. It has been moved and seconded that the board approve the regular board meeting minutes for March 21st, 2024. All those in favor signify by the uplifted hand.
Smith-Desharif, yes.
Thank you. The motion carries. The meeting minutes are approved.
Mr. Chairman?
Supervisor Smith-Desharif, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. It's Smith-Desharif. I just wanted to be sure, I think that's unanimously carried, that motion?
Yes, I did. Didn't I say that? I thought I did. Okay,
You know,
that's all right.
audio. Thank you,
Yes.
Chairman, I yield.
Okay. All right, so moving on then, the next item of business is public comment. We have not received any in the mail or in any other forum. We do have some members of the public attending here, and we have one who's signed in and would like to comment, and I will now call upon that member of the public, Gail Goodman. You have 3 minutes to present your comments.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My comment has to do with the Open Meetings Act and the way hybrid meetings are conducted. I've attended 3 hybrid meetings. You have to have a roll call vote on every vote and every motion if you have a hybrid meeting, and you don't do that. The idea of raising your right hand for somebody who's on the telephone is absurd. The New Mexico Department of Agriculture gives you the Attorney General's instructions for hybrid meetings. So for 4 years, we did it that way, and all of a sudden now we are raising our right hand for people on the telephone. I don't understand what happened. The meeting was always conducted according to the Open Meetings Act before. So I simply request for those on the telephone that you do a roll call vote, and everyone who's attending indicate that by voice vote, and all of your votes be done the same way. So thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll take your comments under advisement. Supervisor Smith-Day-Sharif, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to point out that the supervisors historically are not participating by telephone. We participate virtually, and we have a mechanism of raising our hands. With that, I yield.
Thank you.
Not for the supervisors to do that.
Thank you, Ms. Goodman. We are not going to debate that at this time, so we're going to move on. So with that concludes the public comment period of the agenda. Let's move on then to item number 4. 4A was struck as approved by the motion to modify the agenda. So that brings us to 4B, review and approve the EVUGP expenses and staffing.
Mr. Chairman?
Supervisor Smith-Day-Sharif, you have the floor.
Thank you. I believe that you wanted to address the salary of the garden program. Very busy. I just want to remind you that was why it was on the agenda. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Supervisor Smith-Day-Sharif. At our March meeting, we approved a motion of a salary rate of $20 per hour. Upon further reflection and discussion with the advisory committee, it just seemed to me that $20 an hour was just not in keeping with the duties required of those particular individuals in the work that they're performing. That work was more akin to the salary rate for a YCC person. And so I wanted to present to the board the opportunity to revisit that and have a discussion as to whether we should modify that hourly rate from $20 to $17. So that's the purpose for this item being on the agenda. So I open the floor for comment.
Chairman,
Supervisor Cordova, you have the floor.
so are there employees right now getting paid $20 an hour, or is this for a future?
This was proposed, so it's so that was last year's salary. So that's what I understand.
So is there anybody working right now at $20?
No.
Okay, then, thank you.
Supervisor Smith-Day-Sharif?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I believe if we harken back to discussion last year, there were some folks that had indicated a YCC salary was more at the level of what the guard should be paid, especially skill sets and et cetera. So I'm in favor of that. I think it makes the garden program fiscally sound and sustained by the input of funding that we have secured from the county. With that, I yield.
Thank you, Supervisor Smith there, Sharif. Are there any other comments from the board? So is the Supervisor Smith, Dick Sharif, and I the only ones interested in considering a change from the $20 an hour decision to 17?
No, I'm interested in.
Okay, so Supervisor Cordova. So if there are no other comments, then I would ask for a motion from the floor to modify the offered salary, the decision to offer $20 per hour down to $17 per hour.
Mr. Chairman,
Supervisor Cordova, you have the floor.
so moved.
Okay, so you're making the motion. Is there a second to the motion?
Supervisor Bonine seconds.
Okay. Supervisor Bach, I saw your hand. Were you going to second, or did you have a comment? Are you on mute?
Supervisor Bach, I was going to second the motion.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, it's been moved and seconded that the hourly salary for our garden manager be $17 an hour, which supersedes the decision of $20 an hour reached at the March 21st, 2024 regular board meeting. All those in favor so signify by the uplifted hand. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, motion carries unanimously. The next item of business is review and approval of the Kandy Cordova trailhead sign. Was that, who was going to be voice on that?
Mr. Chairman?
Supervisor Smith Day Sharif, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. This is Smith Sharif. We have it in the packet. I don't know if our education program manager, Laura McCann, is there. If she is, she can tell us about it. I think she did the big lifting for this. With that, I yield.
Thank you very much. This is the chair. Manager McCann is on staff here, so she's welcome to provide some more information.
Yes, thank you, Chairman. This is Education Manager McCann. The memorial sign, the script was written by Supervisor Cordova, and the sign was created, the artwork was put together by me and with the assistance of Vice Chair Smith Day Sharif. So the sign itself will be 20 inches by, and that's length, by 16.5 inches high. And essentially the construction would be similar to some of the signs we've been putting in the conservation area, which are aluminum with the design over the top and sealed so that they are weatherproof even in New Mexico weather, whether it be sun, rain, wind, you name it. So PNM Signs in Mountain Air gave us a quote for that, and it would be $146 for the sign itself. And they can pre-drill it for us. And then Conservation Program Manager Chavez can tell you a little bit more about what's allowed for the posts and how we would put the sign up.
This is Conservation Manager Johnny Chavez. Laura said a good amount of it, but there are some regulations with NRCS. It can't be, higher than 4 feet. The total signage, and we're within the specs of how big the sign is. So NRCS is giving us a go-ahead to go ahead and put it and update our CUA with the signs around Whitfield. So we're just adding that into a bill clump, putting everything together.
Mr. Chairman.
Supervisor Bonan, you have the floor.
Thank you. This is Supervisor Bonine. What are we doing? Do we have like posts or something? Do we already have that material to be able to put it up?
Right now, there's already a post for the Kandy Cordova sign. That's
Okay.
what's already there. We'll just be putting our new sign on it.
Okay, thank you.
This is the chair. Are there any other comments on this particular topic?
Chairman,
Supervisor Cordova, you have the floor.
can Laura, did you guys put a picture of what it's gonna look like up there by any chance? Well, that's okay, so they could see it.
Education Manager McCann. I'm going to go ahead and send that image to our Conservation Program Manager, and then he can project it for the meeting.
Yes, we need a motion to approve the sign and its installation. The purchase of the sign and its installation.
Mr. Chairman,
Supervisor Bonan, you have the floor.
I move that we purchase the Kandy Cordova sign and get it installed for the 100 and whatever that is.
$146.
I can't see. I can't read it. 100. Okay.
I believe it is $146. Is there a second to the motion?
Supervisor Baca?
Yeah, Supervisor Baca, you have the floor.
I second the motion.
Thank you. It has been moved and seconded that we approve the purchase and installation of the Kandy Cordova Trailhead sign for $146, plus whatever the force account installation costs are, which I'm assuming will be YCC or however we do that. Okay. I will now do a vote. All those in favor signify by the uplifted hand.
Abeta, yes, and also planning to tune in via broadcast.
Okay, thank you. Motion carries unanimously. So proceed forward with that purchase and installation, if you would, district staff. So that brings us to item number 5, the executive session, which we, Supervisor Smith DeSharif, you have the floor.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the board of the Valencia Soil and Water Conservation District be closed. The authority for closure of the meeting is the Open Meetings Act of the New Mexico NMSA Statute 1978, Section 10-15-1, in parentheses H, close parentheses, in parentheses 2, close parentheses, for limited personnel matters pertaining to district director performance. Mr. Chairman, I would add that additional authority is via the same statute, section 10-15, parentheses 8, parentheses 7, read the attorney-client privilege pertaining to litigation.
Thank you for that, Supervisor Smith DeSharif. I will now do a roll call vote.
Second.
A second, excuse me. A second. Is there a second for this?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. I will now do a roll call vote to go into closed meeting. Supervisor Smith DeSharif.
Smith DeSharif, C, yes.
Supervisor Cordova.
Cordova, yes.
Supervisor Bonine.
Supervisor Bonine, yes.
Supervisor Beta.
Abeta, yes.
Supervisor Baca.
Supervisor Baca, yes.
And I, as Supervisor Camarino, also vote yes. So the meeting is now closed, and I will ask all present that are not on the board to please leave the building.